Now, this is going to wind up Bev. There's a new TV drama about COVID, her favourite subject. It's written by Dr. Rachel Clark, who was quite a noisy voice during the pandemic. We're going to get on to her in a minute.
That's right. So the show takes us back to March 2020, to the start of the biggest event in most of our lifetimes, as COVID cases began arriving in hospitals. Let's take a look.
Home this weekend, sorry, it's madness.
There's currently no PPE at all.
It's about people wearing bin bags and going home wondering if they're going to die in the night.
Don't go there.
We're already there. You know, this thing is spreading. They just keep coming.
But no one is giving.
Where do I start? Right, I'm taking a deep breath here. For a start, this has been written by and inspired by a woman who is called Rachel Clark. She was a classic jab-pushing, social distance, advocating, anti-science, mask-selling, COVID narcissist is how I would describe some of these people.
She would argue she was arguing for the orthodoxy.
And she was absolutely arguing for the orthodoxy. And that, of course, as you know, has been my issue with this all along. And I want to draw a clear distinction between her and some of the people who have taken that kind of position on this particular drama, I mean, real life and fictional drama, and the hardworking, amazing, tireless, underpaid doctors who work in, and nurses who work in hospitals every single day. But this drama, for me, is just more about somebody cashing in on the money, the fame, the status of what was a hideous event that we all went through, and it will be completely one-sided. There will be no idea of whether the science was ever right to take away beds so you had social distancing, and the fact that there is a different set of data now than there was at the time.
But it is a drama. And you can take liberties with drama, you can take liberties with facts with drama. Look at The Crown, some ridiculous assertions in The Crown. That's why I stopped watching, I couldn't bear it anymore. And they will argue it's a drama.
It is a drama.
And it's for dramatic effect.
And they're actually, but that's the problem, isn't it? Because there was so much drama in the news during that period of time. And she was on the telly every day, the woman who's apparently written or contributed to the writing of this.
Yeah, she's a doctor. When did she get time to write?
Home this weekend, sorry, it's madness.
Where she actually worked that remain unanswered. There's a little sort of vagueness about what her particular role was during this period of time. And there's no doubt that the nurses and the doctors were absolutely terrified. But from the start, almost, there was a failure of risk assessment. It was not really understanding. There's one about who was and who was not at risk from a virus that we closed the whole country down for, and we're still seeing the effects of it today. We're still seeing it in the kids with the mental health, with the economy that's crashed, with the NHS that's on its knees. The long-term collateral damage of those decisions won't be handled in this drama. And I think it's incredibly manipulative. And what I hated throughout the whole period of time was how much the British public was manipulated. And I feel like this is just part of that. All emotion, no data, no science.
But, as I say, it's a drama, it's a TV drama, and they can take whatever liberty with facts, whether you agree with the facts or not. Bev and I don't agree on COVID in the first place, but she is a contentious figure. I will argue that, because she often pitched up on TV and radio criticising the government, and she's hypercritical of the Tories in particular.
Absolutely. And so,
has been for the last 8 or 9 years.
So this idea that she's but this drama goes on about the fact that they didn't have the right PPE. There are some genuine questions to be asked about that. That is a genuine question. But the question also is PPE, did it work in that situation? Did those nurses and doctors have to follow those particular lines down the corridor? Did they have to take off everything every half an hour? Because we knew very quickly that virus wasn't passed on surfaces with fomites. And yet that science was never caught up. It was never corrected when we knew those things. And yet this drama is immortalising what were effectively clinical errors and scientific mistakes. I wouldn't be able to watch it. I really wouldn't be able to watch it. But do you know what? It's interesting. But there are people who... I'm obviously traumatised by that period of time for the very opposite reasons, but a lot of people are traumatised for different reasons. And for the other side of it, and I don't think it would appeal to anybody, because I think if you did lose somebody during that period of time and you weren't allowed to say goodbye to them because of some of these extraordinary authoritarian rules that we placed in terms of social distancing and old people and the use of midazolam, and there are questions that still haven't been answered. Those are the dramas that I want to see being made. And that's the issue, is those dramas won't be made because this narrative is still not sufficiently.
And
undermined.
ITV know also this drama will tap into people's anger. Over for whatever, whether it's your anger or whether the fact that they lost people they said they shouldn't have.
Yeah.
It's and what's her name again? Rachel Clark, Dr. Rachel Clark.
Rachel Clark.
So, and it's called
It's called Breathtaking.
There we are.